What's good, Commanders fans? The Commanders have made another trade here. They have traded John Ridgeway to the New Orleans Saints. They attached a seventh round pick, and in return they got a sixth round pick here. That is the trade. Let me confirm here real quick, but I'm pretty sure that's it for the trade. So kind of underwhelming. I personally I just don't like that we have to attach a pick every time, or a lot of the times we're attaching picks. I'm not gonna say a lot, but Jahan Dotson, we had to attach a pick. We attached a fifth round pick to him to get the third and a bunch of sevens. Or a couple of sevens. I know we had a couple of sevens in the return for the Jahan Dotson trade, so a seventh round pick is pretty much extendable. But it's kind of like I really wish in a perfect world we would have just up to me, it would have been trading John Ridgeway for a sixth round pick. Is it worth the squeeze to add in a seventh round pick and John Ridgeway to get back a sixth round pick rather than keeping him as a rotational pass rusher when, Deron Payne, John Allen, we want to have depth with those guys because they played a lot of snaps. You do have Fedarian Mathis, you do have Johnny Newton, so I guess Ridgeway is kind of expendable, but Newton, we don't know. He has a soft tissue injury, and the 2 feet has injuries in those within the past year. Fedarian Mathis, injury history, knock on wood. So I just don't think it would hurt to have John Ridgeway, who had a good game against the Patriots, a preseason game. I get that. And a rotational guy who hasn't done much in his career. So like I said, I'm not crying over spilled milk or anything like that. It's John Ridgeway, who was a solid player, a solid rotational player. Dan Quinn already has an opinion on him. Joe Witt Jr., they already have an opinion on him because they already let go. They waived him the first time. That's how he got here, because the Cowboys waived him when we claimed him. After that, he was a former fifth-round pick. Just looking at some of the numbers for John Ridgeway. I talked about him yesterday. Didn't really put up much numbers because he's more of a rotational guy. He's always going to be known for the suplex in that game against the Texans. He did have a standout game against the Patriots because, he threw that one guy to the side and just basically manhandled him. He had a couple of nice tackles in that game. So looking at the numbers, 636 snaps over 2 years. Ridgeway has a 4.56% stop rate, which is okay. Solid for defensive tackle. Good depth addition for the Saints. It's a good thing he didn't trade him within the division this time. And talking about Adam Peters, he has 29 run stops and 12 pressures over his first 2 seasons. So like I said, all his numbers are pretty pedestrian for the most part. No sacks, no tackles for loss. I think he had like 44 tackles. He did have that terrible Shaq in a fool moment against the Vikings, where I think he jumped off sides on a field goal or something like that. So he's had moments. He's had some good moments. He had a good game against the Colts where he was stopping the run and whatnot. But my thing is that this is the second trade in a row where we had to attach a pick to move on from somebody. I do want to see us move somebody without having to attach a pick. That's the one thing that I'm looking for from Adam Peters in the next trade that he does make. So, and this one comment that I saw, so the team has 2 aging DTs in Allen and Payne, an off-injured Mathis and a currently injured Jerzon Newton. Seems rather odd unless the plan is to completely wear Allen and Deron Payne down by Halloween. So I don't agree with that, but I get what the person is trying to say there. But I get it. We had a couple 7th-round picks because of the Jahan Dotson trade, and we added that to get a 6th-round pick. Maybe he can parlay the 6th-round pick, like a 6th and a 5th, to move up in the 4th round or something like that. We'll see. He can attach the 6th-round pick to get another receiver in the future, maybe in the offseason next year. I don't see that happening now. Allen Robinson just got signed by a team by the Lions. So we'll see if we make a move for Donovan Peoples-Jones or Noah Brown. We'll see what happens with that. The day is still not done. It could happen before the season starts. I personally just don't think Adam Peters is going to be aggressive. I think the more and more the days unravel, I just feel like this is a wait and see, research and development kind of season where they just want to see what guys can do, where guys fit, try to get as much draft capital as they can get, and then move from that and just see what Jaden Daniels is this rookie year and try to build around him, I guess, next year and maybe push the chips. And that's why I said this year is a research and development year, but I do want to see Adam Peters be aggressive next year. I do. I don't want to see him play around. I want to see him be aggressive next year and get the quarterback some help. Like I said, you look at the other teams in the league, the Eagles getting A.J. Brown, the Texans getting Stephon Diggs, the Bears getting Keenan Allen, and guys to help out Caleb Williams, helping out their young quarterback. So that's just what I see teams around the league doing for the young quarterback. So that's what I want to see Adam Peters do next year. So it may not be this year, but I think next year is the year that that happens. All right, so let's move on from John Ridgeway. I wish him the best. Tough, hard-nosed player. Tough, hard-nosed player out of Arkansas. Practice squad. They finalized the practice squad. So Casimir Allen, I'm not a big fan of him. He made the practice squad. They really like. They really want him to be involved some way, somehow. I know Adam Peters mentioned the name Debo Samuel with Casimir Allen, kind of just talking about how he can be a running back and a receiver and whatnot. I just don't. Yeah, I know he's not comparing him talent-wise, but the guy, he's just not it. He's just not it. Fumbling and muffing punts, body language in the last game of the season or the preseason. I'm just not. I'm not high on Casimir Allen. Chiggy made the practice squad, a high priority UDFA. Didn't have a great game against the Patriots, but you see the length, you see the speed there. So, or he has speed in the combine. So I see what they're trying to do with him in the practice squad. Julian Good-Jones, like I said before, struggles to snap the football, but he made the practice squad as a guard. Sam Hartman, we already knew he was going to make the practice squad. Andre Jones Jr., already told about him making the practice squad. The defensive end, who was drafted last year, defensive tackle Hage Naduzabi, made the practice squad. I'm surprised Benning Potato did not make the practice squad, but Hage made it. Chris Rodriguez, the draft pick from last year, he made the practice squad, who Aaron Bieniemy endorsed to be drafted to this team in 2023. He is on the practice squad. He played pretty well in that Patriots game. He had a couple good catches. Mitchell Tinsley, who I do like, made the practice squad. Bryson Tremaine, 2 wide receivers I do like, made the practice squad. And Cole Turner, who was really bad in the preseason and did not have a good training camp, who was dropping passes and had hands like a snake in the Patriots game. He made the practice squad. Carlos Watkins, defensive end, he made the practice squad. And Michael Wiley, shout out to Michael Wiley. I'm happy that he made the practice squad. He deserved to make the practice squad. I think he deserved to make the 53-man roster. But he is on the practice squad, so I am happy to see that, and good for him because he deserves a spot on the roster. And then they did sign Sheldon Day to the practice squad. Defensive tackle, 6'1", 294 pounds, 30 years old, was a 4th-round draft pick in the 2016 draft. Played for the Browns, played for the Jaguars, played for the San Francisco 49ers in 2018 and 2019, so maybe there's some familiarity with Adam Peters there. Had 1 sack in 2019, 2 sacks in 2018, 2 sacks in 2017, and 1 sack in 2016. So overall in his career, he's had 7 sacks so far, so that would be good for him. It's good for him to make the practice squad, so we'll see if we can get anything out of him in practice. So that's about it, guys. You guys let me know what you guys think about the John Ridgeway trade. It may not move you guys at all, but Adam Peters is making moves and moving on. So you guys let me know what you guys think. Health Commanders, peace.